I'm Beth Journay with the Greater Angleton Chamber of Commerce, and I have Williams Tigner, who is running for Angleton City Council Position 2 with us today. We're going to ask a few questions and give you an opportunity to get to know Williams a little bit more. Okay, Williams, two-part question.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about yourself, why it is a good idea for us to vote for you for City Council, and what useful experience, knowledge, or perspective do you bring?
Well, a little bit about myself is I've been in Angleton all my life, except for about 6 years that totaled a law school and college. But during that 6 years, I still had family here, still had friends here. So I've basically been in touch with Angleton for 34 years now. My experience is I'm on city council. I am the incumbent. I have won an election, so hopefully we'll win another one here. But I bring approximately about 4 years of city council experience, seeing the inner workings of the city. So I know how things get done. I know how decisions are made. I know what things seem to work and what things don't work. So I feel that that's what I bring to the city.
Okay, awesome, thank you. What leadership skills do you bring to the City Council if reelected, and what is the toughest group you've ever had to lead?
Well, I have my law practice here in Angleton, so the leadership skills or what I bring to the city is running on a budget. I don't have the biggest budget in the world. The city of Angleton doesn't have the biggest budget in the world, but we have things we need to get done, and me as a local business owner, I have to get done under budget, all about the bottom line. I've helped Angleton do that for the past 2 budget cycles. The toughest group I've ever had to lead, probably during my work experience as a lawyer, leading a family that involves a juvenile getting in trouble, from divorced mom, divorced dad, and getting those parents and the juvenile down that common path and a common goal, and everybody happy at the end.
Can only imagine. Okay, what skills, qualities, or experience do you possess that separates you from your opponent?
I don't really know my opponent all that well. Marty Stolberg, I just know he's a businessman. I think that's the platform he's running on. I'm a businessman. Don't know how I separate myself from him other than my experience on council. I'm not sure if his business is here local. Mine's business is here local. I've been here local. I've worked here local my whole career. I'm not sure where his experience is, if it's in Angleton specifically or not. But from a little bit I know, I can provide, the Angleton experience, the Angleton City Council experience as well.
Okay, thank you. And I should have mentioned that sometimes these questions, as you had an opportunity to review them, they seem a little repetitive.
Yeah.
And our thought was that we just really wanted to give our listeners or our viewers a good opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. So that's the reason for them. If elected, what do you hope to accomplish during your term in office?
I hope to set Angleton down a right path where future councils have a plan. So put those plans in place for the future councils to be successful. Because whether it's me or my opponent, we're not always going to be here on the city council. This is a ever-changing table of chairs here. So if you have the right plan in place, future councils would tend to agree with that plan if it's the right plan that's working for Angleton, and then that sets everyone else up to be successful on down the road.
Wow, takes away that learning curve.
Yes, ma'am.
Somewhat. Okay, what do you see as Angleton's greatest challenges in the next decade, and how can you as an elected official help face or be prepared for those challenges?
Growing and meeting those challenges on Angleton's budget. Meaning, to grow, we have to provide infrastructure, all the boring things that people don't see that are underground. Is very expensive. You cannot attract businesses to certain areas if you cannot provide them services. So it kind of goes back into the plan of planning smartly by having those services in those areas where you think those businesses are going to come, so you can attract those businesses. So that would be the greatest challenge is the growth that's coming, to market Angleton, to get that growth, and to handle that growth and be ready for it.
Okay. How important is it for the city to purchase items and services from local vendors? How committed to the shop local motto are you, and what have you done to encourage the city and its citizens to keep their tax dollars in Angleton?
I think that's very important because everyone's talking about businesses and growing and attracting more businesses. Well, you can't do that if you're losing your businesses that you have. Businesses look at that and they're like, well, that business didn't succeed. I don't want to go there. So we need to spend our dollars locally here to keep those businesses afloat, keep them successful, keep them reinvesting in this community to attract other businesses here. Myself and what I have done is open my own law office here. I have whatever I've needed for my law office. I've always tried to shop local first. Use the local hardware store instead of going to Lowe's and Lake Jackson. Use the local printing company for my koozies that I pass out from advertising. Just whatever I need done, I always try to shop local first. Whether it's a home I'm selling, use a local real estate agent. Just land or whatever, again, a home, use a local title company. Whatever it is, in my personal life or business life, I try to always shop local first.
I appreciate that. You know, that's one of our big things, so we definitely appreciate that. How would you describe the city of Angleton to a business prospect looking at the possibility of relocating to this city?
Well, like I said, I had this question beforehand, but I thought it needed to be a little bit more specific because what I describe to a potential business prospect is going to be tailor fit for them.
Sure.
They only want to hear about what benefits them and why they should come here. So, generally, I would say, I would market Angleton as we have great schools here, one of the best, I think the best in the county. And council has a very open mindset of working with businesses. So we've worked with them through industrial district agreement or tax incentive programs or tax abatements, things like that. And so if that developer or that person knows that we're open and we're willing to work with them, then I think they're more likely to come here.
Okay, awesome. In the past, Angleton has lost small business and development opportunities to other communities. What steps would you take to make the process less cumbersome and make Angleton more inviting to those who wish to invest here?
I would look at the city ordinances that people are talking about, if that's what they're talking about, and maybe make them easier to deal with, streamline some permit process, maybe reduce some fees on some things. And also, I would try to work with Chamber more because y'all are the eyes and ears of the local business community. We would see what the concerns were, and you don't know how to fix something if you don't know if it's concerned in the first place.
Absolutely. Okay, describe the models, tools, incentives that other communities in Texas are using successfully that you would support to encourage job creation and retention in Angleton and boost economic development.
Well, we've used a couple through the tax abatements. When developers come in Angleton and take this empty piece of land, they put a new commercial building or they put a new home on it. They put something on the tax roll for Angleton, so we've helped them out and given them a little bit of money back because we see that future revenue that they've developed now for Angleton. We've done industrial district agreements, which work, and then the impact fees. Don't have your current citizens overly burdened with the growing of Angleton. Kind of recoup that. And developers are always used to paying that. I think Angleton just recently started doing it, so hopefully that'll work out with helping our budget a little bit more, providing the infrastructure for everybody.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'm going to flip the next two questions just because I think this other one, number 11, kind of picks up where that one left off. Do you think it's important to watch other cities and communities to learn what they are doing and what does work and doesn't work for them?
I do, because it goes back to we're on a limited budget, and so we don't have the budget the money to spend on things that don't work. Also, when developers come to the city, they don't have, sometimes it's a very time-sensitive issue. They don't have all the time in the world. So we don't want to waste their time with things that they don't care about or that just doesn't work. Because these developers, when they're coming to Angleton, it's usually, we're not their first stop. They know how the game is played, and we don't want to waste their time. And on that same note, that you don't reinvent the wheel. You kind of customize it a little bit, so depending on what that developer is, and we can customize it and not waste anyone's time, and maybe incentivize that developer a little bit more to come here.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go back to the other one, because again, it all
Yes,
ties in together, and like I said, can be somewhat repetitive. Your answers could be. How important do you think the attitude of city leaders is to economic development? Example, if a developer or a business is coming into a community and they get a can-do attitude as opposed to a can't attitude, do you think that's important?
I do think that's important, because they'll just move on down the road if we have that can-do attitude. And I think that is changing since I've been on council, whether it's through the city manager or code enforcement or economic development. These people that we have in place now in those positions, if someone comes to them and asks for something and they just can't do it because of the ordinances, where they'll say, okay, well, let's see what we can do. And it's either brought to council for consideration, or it's just handled where they can do it. They find a way to do it. And because if you just say can't, everything gets shut down, progress doesn't happen. So let's find a way to do things if it's in the best interest of everybody.
Sure, good answer. Okay, let's make sure I didn't miss any. 12. In your discussions with voters, what concern or issue has been raised that has surprised you the most? What are your suggestions for dealing with those issues?
Well, I've heard clean the city, and so I'm just gonna say the concern and see how I address it. Clean the city was one concern. How to address that is the spring cleanups. We actually had that this weekend. I took part in that. Very good turnout. I think it was better than our last cleanup, so that's always good. I didn't volunteer in the one before this, but I went in and took advantage of the county cleanup, recycling trash and all that, electronics. And so I think all those programs are great, and the more marketing we do for those programs, the more successful these programs are. Looks like I said, this one was more successful than the last one. As long as these continue to grow, that helps clean the city up. The other one would be improve the streets. How we want to address that is that's already underway. We've had our engineering firm basically ride every street in the city, grade them, and now they're providing that report to us. Tonight at the city council meeting, actually, we're going to appoint a street task force group of citizens and stakeholders to go look at those streets. Here's the report. Go look at the streets. Now, do citizens agree with the engineers? Because the citizens are the ones that ride on the streets every day, know the more thoroughfares of which streets are used. So I think we're bringing the citizens' input on that, so we're trying to address that as well. One actually is a joint efforts between council and this chamber. I have an idea on that one is, provide a liaison of sorts that attends the chamber meetings, attends the council meetings, and just maybe make it even a standing council item. Just have the liaison talk and say, look, this is what I've gathered, this is the community's concerns, this is the business's concerns, and you don't have to take action on it, it's just bringing it to the forefront, something to think about, maybe take action on later. And the last one is have more public forums, and that was one of our current city managers, his ideas, and we haven't really experienced that before in Angleton. Example is we're going to smart meters eventually. Very expensive, so we're going to have to implement them in stages on what's parts of the city get them. However, we're not just going to go put smart meters in these homes.
Is that for the water?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry. His idea was wherever homes are targeted, we're going to bring in that group of homeowners, bring them in, have a public forum, see what their concerns are, just kind of an information forum, so to speak, and just let them know what's coming and see if they have any questions and tell them about the program. So I think we're addressing a lot of the concerns. The other one is, uncontrollable. It's complaints about 35 or 288 medians, and that's all the state of Texas without our control, whether it's the speed limits or the medians, unfortunately. we just make it known to the state our concern, and they do what they're going to do.
Sure. Okay, what are your top 3 goals if re-elected to this position?
Number one, take care of my current population. If you don't make your current population happy, you're not going to grow. Everybody sees that no one's happy there. Why am I going to go there? Number 2 is improve the quality of life of my current population. And like I said, growing up here in Angleton, we've always had to go to Lake Jackson or Houston or Pearland just to go to the mall, go to the movies, just do things. So, you know, improving quality of life. I've been a big supporter of a park that's planned on County Road 44. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's going to have a walking trail around the big couple acre pond it is. It's probably 10 plus acre pond over there. They're going to have fishing. We don't have any fishing here in Angleton. If you don't own a boat, then you're probably having fish other than maybe a ditch or something. So I think that's, and then the kayak launch, they're going to have that available. So we're going to have some things to do. There's a big movement for a skate park, and council's done nothing but support that. I think, you know, some people are trying to get some grant money to pay for it. Not saying one's coming, but if some money comes from somewhere, I know council's very open to putting one in. You know, and just those are little things that we don't have to go out of town for entertainment anymore. And those are things that improve the quality of life. And then grow smart and plan smart. Put those smart plans in places, such as an updated comprehensive plan, or look at the planning and zoning, or look at your annexation plan and all those, because that provides that future roadmap for those councils that I talked about earlier.
Sure. Okay, Williams, thank you. Do you have any other comments?
I do not. I just appreciate your vote. Every vote counts, as if we've learned.
It's been
before.
proven, hasn't
Right,
it?
it's been proven. So I appreciate your time and the opportunity for this.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.